Alright, we got a 1967 Corvette Stingray. We're getting ready to tear completely down and do a full restoration on it. We're going to be pulling the motor out today and the tranny. We got it all set up on the jack. Getting ready to tear everything apart on it. Car's in pretty decent shape. It's just the paint's really been in disarray. It's got a lot of things to it that's blistered and peeling. All the front end and the hood and all the parts is just going to be completely stripped down and gone over. But it's got a little bit of damage here and there, just wear. It's an old car. It's got decent low mileage on it. But you can see it's been repainted. That flaked off driving it. You know, went and picked it up out of Syracuse, New York. Syracuse, New York. That's where I'm headed. Alexandria, Virginia, and we're gonna tear it all down. Let's take a look at the inside. The inside's in pretty good shape, and what we're gonna do is take all the interior out, do all new panels, new seat covers, carpet, re-dye the dash, redo all the ceiling panels, re-dye all the back panels, and put new carpet in the whole car, and clean it all back up and make it smell good again. She smelled like an old car, but I'm going to come back and forth on it as we do it, and it's just going to give you a couple step-by-steps of what we do to the whole thing and where it is. Yeah, I hope this little spot here isn't bad. Yeah. You got a couple little spots that'll worry about how deep they are, but most of it is just the paint really is pretty bad in places. So, all right, I'll come back to it later on. Alright, here we are again with the 67 Vet. Yesterday we got the motor out, took everything out of there, disconnected everything, took the transmission out, got the body all torn down for getting all the motor and getting ready to take all the body components apart. We're going to take all the trim off, take the doors apart, everything, work on that part today. Motor's all sitting on a stand ready to box and ship out. And got looking at the doors yesterday and seeing if the pins or anything were bad. What we found is right here in this corner, if you lift up on the door, the hinge isn't moving, but we got separation on the inside of this panel where this panel's attached together. So we're going to pull this door apart, see what we got going on inside, and go around the thing and take everything off of it. All the interior I'm going to go ahead and start undoing, taking everything out of the inside of it and get it ready to strip down. So I'll come back to it at another stage and give you a little quick review, and then we're going to start stripping the body and going over things. When we were doing things, we found a little inside structure damage down here in the bottom corner where somebody had worked on the front end and must have had some front end damage in here in the front in this corner. We got some inner structure down there. Needs a little attention in there, and that all will be addressed when we get the thing torn down and get it stripped and see what we got underneath all this a little bit. All right, we'll bring you back in another stage and let you see what else is going on. And all right, we're coming back to the vet real quick. Bumpers off, some of the other components out of the engine compartment, taking other brackets off the outside, took the door off, completely disassembled everything out of the inside of the door so we can strip it and clean it out. It's got passenger side is pretty good shape, and that's where we're at, and then I'll come back to it as we tear more apart.
Look, we want to be your friend. Come on in. See us. We're in the heart of Nashville. The Run.
Alright, we're on the tear down of the 67. Gotten a good bit accomplished. We've gutted out a lot of the interior side now. Everything we're cleaning out. Going to be removing all the dash and other parts. All the sides and bumpers been removed. Removing all the back trim to the windows and rubber gaskets. And just to bring you up to date, if you look at the front windshield, I'm removing the front trim to the front windshield, and this originally went in with just a rubber gasket, and the owner said there were some leaks over time where it looks like somebody had tried to repair. And these are one of the things that is hard to give an estimate on these type of projects when, you know, they're 40 some years old and everybody's had their hands into it over the years. This trim has been urethane, silicone, glued in every which way onto the original clips after, I guess, the window, instead of popping the window out, they just ran a big caulk bead of some kind of caulk over the original gasket and then shoved the trim back on, which makes it very hard to get it out without damaging the windshield. And I'm trying to save the front windshield, and you know, just getting her dirty right now. I should be able to have it out here in a little while, but it's been a little bit more of a project than normal. Usually you can just run a rod around it and pop off all your clips, run a razor blade and pop out the gasket and pop it out. It's a pretty quick process, and this one hasn't been that way, but that way you got a little idea of what's been going on. You can see the pile of interior sitting right here. All this smells like a real old car. So got a few minor things that with the interior, just some dry rotted pieces. If I move these pieces to the side, they're just very brittle and old. You can see different pieces on here that have just gotten old and dry rotted, and right here you just got a crack that's just starting to come right through. Just little things that you'll run into when you tear a project down like this. Most of the interior is pretty decent. The aluminum and everything to all the front is all nice and be able to strip and straighten. But we'll come back to the project in another date time. And he's just got spare tire and exhaust and everything. And kind of don't have room on the lifts right now. And getting this torn down so I can get it baking soda blasted. Get it off the frame and clean her up. Alright, we're getting ready to pop the window out. I'm just going to give you an idea of how just caulked and glued, and somebody had some type of leak, and the trim and everything was glued in. And if you look at how they did it, they just put caulk and some kind of just really caulk, you know, and just added a lot of extra, and everything was caulk. See, it should have been razor blade the thing and just pop it out, and it just pulls out. But we have unforeseen amount of glue and caulk, and that's what's taken me a long time on the front. But I didn't crack the window. So we're just gonna, see, this rubber gasket just sits in there, and we got to get that out. Because see, after 40 years, you got rust down in the original steel track where it attaches to the fiberglass body. And you know, the top's real good. You got to go through all the bottom. And that's just where we're at right now. What of all the caulk on it? Yeah, it's just, it shouldn't have been that way. That's just somebody, just a hack. Somebody that thinks they know what they're doing but don't know what they're doing. The proper way would have been to remove the windshield, remove the rubber gasket, clean the track, prime it, clean it with window primer, and put the rubber back in the proper way. But that's what you get when you get something that's 44 years old. Should be 45 this year. So, anybody that's watching the video, just so any of you backyard guys that are doing stuff on your own, this piece here that's just totally full of caulk and glued, all the crap in there will have to be all cleaned out. And my wife will be the one that cleans all this out and gets it all prepped and ready. So any of you guys in the backyard, get your damn wife out in the garage and get them going on these things. Just to let y'all see how much somebody had caulked that off. Just to try to stop, imagine a leak. And it's just, you gotta dig and dig to get this off. Most of the clips would break, but it was so glued, it just wouldn't come. I cut a lot of it out. Now y'all remember, get your wife out here working on the car. I got mine up there working on scraping the roof, stripping this thing. I gotta get. Well, it's been a couple days on the 67 Vet. You can see most of the car's been stripped down and gutted out. We're going to be getting it out for baking soda blasting and getting the rest of the components torn apart of it and get it all cleaned up. If you go over here, I got a door that I did earlier today and baking soda blasted it. We'll run over the whole door with 180 and smooth out every little edge and get the other doors all ready. But about 35-40 minutes of baking soda takes all the paint right off and cleans them up real nice, makes it real nice and smooth, and that's where the car's at right now.